ממטה למעלה מרכבות סתומות הולכות ומתגלגלות, כל נעימות עולה ויורד, הולך ומשוטט בעולם, כל שופר נמשך בעומקי המדרגות, מסובב הגלגל סביב, כל גלגל המתגלגל ממטה למעלה מרכבות סתומות הולכות ומתגלגלות, כל נעימות עולה ויורד, הולך ומשוטט בעולם, כל שופר נמשך בעומקי המדרגות, מסובב הגלגל סביב, כל אוי 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 ממטה למעלה מרכבות סתומות הולכות ומתגלגלות, כל נעימות עולה ויורד, הולך ומשוטט בעולם, כל שופר נמשך בעומקי המדרגות, מסובב הגלגל סביב,
לבנים בת ואין צורכם כמו בבת דרור יקרה לבנים בת ואין צורכם כמו בבת נעים שמכם ולא יושבת שבו ונוחו ביום שבת בראש נביא ועולמי ועוד ישעשה עימי בראש נביא ועולמי ועוד ישעשה עימי נטע סורק בתוך כרמי ששבעת בני עמי בראש נביא ועולמי ועוד ישעשה עימי בראש נביא ועולמי ועוד ישעשה עימי נטע סורק בתוך כרמי ששבעת בני עמי
Shabbat Shalom. We're going to start our service welcoming the angels that accompany us every Shabbos. Shalom Aleichem. We're on page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi HaSharet, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem Neshalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni
Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zitchem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Here we are starting Shabbat every week. Every week we have this opportunity, we have this invitation to gather with our souls, to participate in this celebration time. Go and take 2 candles, make sure that you have a cup of wine or a challah if you are home, so we can do the blessings and we can together the holiness of this day. In this Torah portion, Parashat Ki Tavo, we think about blessings and curses. And often we have no ability to define our life circumstances. We can't manage time, for example, but we certainly can decide how we want to acknowledge time and understand time as a blessing. So we start this sacred encounter with time, with the blessing over the candles. We're on page 120.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Good Shabbos. We come with joy to this encounter with Shabbat, with the beloved bride. We're on page 130, Lechu Neranena.
Lechu Neranena Adonai Nariah Letzor Yishenu Nekad Mafanav Betoldan Bizmirot Nariah שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, ספרו בגויים כבודו, בכל העמים נפלאות אדוני, כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, כבוד האום על כל אלוהים, כי כל אלוהי עמים אלילים, באדוני שמיים עשה, עוד בדן לפניו עושה תפארת במקדשו. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ, המים ומלוא יעלוס אדוני בכל אשר בו. שבת שלום, 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 שבת שלום. I invite you to close your eyes just for one moment. And as you close your eyes, we try to recognize all the packages, all the things that we are carrying with us into this Shabbos. And we remind ourselves that carrying on Shabbos is forbidden. And there are things that we certainly need to put aside in order to be completely free to welcome Shabbat, to dedicate this time to the encounter with of our souls. So look around, try to recognize those things that you don't need to carry, and mindfully put them aside. Look at them and say, I'll see you later. I'll see you in 25 more hours. Take a deep breath. And now, yes, once again say, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. תגל הארץ, ישמחו הים רבים, ולשרו על הצדיק, ולשרי לב שמחה, שמחו צדיקים באדוני, והודו לסכר קודשו. מזמור שירו לאדוני, שיר חדש, כי נפלאות עשה. And we find in the words of these songs, of these chants, this millennia-old chants, connection to the wonders of our lives. May each of these melodies, each of these words, each of these chants become a step in a stairway that brings us closer to the encounter with this different, separate time. Sambru la Adonai Bechinor. We're on page 134. Samru l'Adonai Bechinor
וכינור וכל זמרה בחצוצרות בקול שופר הריעו לפני המלך אדוני ירם הים ומנור תבל ביושבי בה הידי נהרות עמך כף רב יחד הרים ירננו לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים במישרים ירם הים ומלואו תבל ביושבי בה הידי נהרות עמך כף רב יחד הרים ירננו כף יחד הרים ירננו.
7 psalms, each of them in front one of the days of the week. On the 6th day, we were created, human beings were created. And Shabbat is a reminder also of our creation, of our own creation, of our partnership with God. And as we look at the light of our candles at home or here in the shul, we are reminded that we, human beings, we have the ability also to bring light to this world. Mizmor LeDavid on page 136.
מזמור לדוד, אהו לאדוני בנעלים, אבו לאדוני כבוד בעוז, אבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על מים, אל כבוד הירים, אדוני, אדוני על מים רבים, כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני בהדר, כל אדוני שובר ארצים, וישבר אדוני את ארצי הלבנון. הירקירם כמו רגל לבנון, ציון כמו בן רמים. כל אדוני חוצב להבות אש, כל אדוני יקיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יחולל עיינות, ויחשוף יערות, ובהיכלו כולו מרכבות, למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. ידעי די 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 די
לך דודי, let's come to the encounter of the bride of the queen. לך דודי לקראת כלה, page 138.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, שמור וזכור ודיבור אחד השמיענו, אל המיוחד אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לקראת שבת לכו ונחכים כל הברכה מראש מקדם, נסוך סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך אדוני לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
איי 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 לך אדוני, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי איי בני שבת, בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר דברי כבוד אדוני. איי 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 לך אדוני, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי איי בני שבת, בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקרבי, מה תשתוכחי ומדהמי, בך יחסו עניי עמי בביתה. תחילה תחילה, איי איי לך אדוני, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי איי בני שבת, בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה.
בואי ושלום, come in peace.
בואי ושלום, עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמונה עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, איי 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 לך אדוני, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי איי בני שבת, בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה.
איי 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 איי
לך אדוני, איי 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 לקראת כלה, איי איי בני שבת, בני שבת, בני שבת נקבלה.
May we see that we have welcome Shabbat, and at this time we take a moment just to welcome each other, to say good Shabbos to each other, good Shabbos, Shabbos Jordan, Zach, Gavi, Evan, and good Shabbos to all those on Facebook, on Zoom, not Zoom today, on Facebook and on YouTube. It is on us now to let this Shabbat and each other's presence to be a part of our journey, a part of our lives. We grant to Shabbat one more song, Psalm 92, Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות אדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחילות, צדיק כתמן יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינובון בשיבה, דשנים ברעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא עוולה תבוא.
Page 144. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועל מה דברה חילותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו
אמן.
יש ברבם מבורך, לעולם לא והלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, מתפאר ותרומם מתנשא, בהתהדר, בהתהלל, בהתהלל, שמי וקודשה,
בריחו
לילה מן כל ברכתה, בשירתה, תושבך ונחמתה, דמירם בעלמה, ואמרו
אמן.
If you are able to rise in your legs, you can do so. But we all can rise in our spirit. We turn our Siurim now to page 146 for Baruch, the call for worship. We turn toward Jerusalem.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך,
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. היי היי יאללה Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, pulling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzebaot is your name. Ever living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריף ערבים. As we get closer to Shema, I invite you to close your eyes just for a moment. Shema Israel. We ask, we seek for the ability to listen. And sometimes listening at its best happens when we close our eyes. We try to look inside. Close our eyes and we try to recognize what makes us feel deeply loved. We think about those things that fill our world with light. It might be a person, it might be a memory. It might be a landscape, a place. Let that love surround you. As it happens, become aware of your breath. Each of us has a particle, a spark of eternity. Our souls are a piece of the eternal one. And our breath, our neshima, sometimes, it's often the key to our souls. I invite you to take a deep breath. Once again, take a deep breath. To say, dear God, never remove your love from us. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo, Israel. We turn our Siurim now to page 152 for the Shema.
Shema,
Shema
Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
We continue on page 154 with Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם נאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
So often we feel overwhelmed. There are so many things that make us feel that way. There are two things that every time that we experience that, it's important to keep in mind. The first one is to look around and to realize that we are not alone. And the other one is the strength, the courage, the faith to make the first step forward. When your children witness your presence, they praise your name in gratitude and they accepted your sovereignty. Moshe, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices with joy. Who is like you, O God? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. We're on page 158.
Yalai, 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 ay, yalai, yalai, ay, yalai, 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 ay, yalai, 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 ay, yalai, ay, yalai, 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 ay, yalai, 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 ay, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedad b'kodesh, Torah tehilot osef eleh, Torah tehilot osef eleh, Elai malchutecha ra'u b'anecha, Bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe Miriam, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru.
ונאמר כיף אדוני את יעקב, וגאלוג מיד חזק ממנו. Thus it is say, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Baruch et Adonai, praise are you Adonai, for redeeming Israel, Go'e Israel. Return our Sidurim to page 160. Shkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom be'amidenu, Malkeinu shomrenu lechaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Cover us with the shelter of your peace. We know that it's not a physical shelter, but a shelter that is born in our internal peace.
Ushmor tziteinu uvoenu l'chaim u'l'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam ufros aleinu sukat shalom echa baruch atah Adonai aporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen.
Page 162.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael
את השבת, לעשות את השבת,
לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. כי ששת
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד ופי יגיד תהילתך. We ask from God the ability to open our lips, to open our hearts, and to become those words, the words of our prayer, to find the words of praise, the words of connection. Lashev Alef, the prayer of our heart. You can follow the words of Tfilat Amidah in your Siddur. You can take a moment to close your eyes and try to connect with those words, the words that you need to express, the words that you need to say. אתה קידחת דיום בשבילי? אלוהינו, אלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, רצוי מלאכתנו ובקשנו מצוותיך, ודין חלקנו מדורתך, וזרענו מטובך. אנחנו נשדרנו אלוהינו ולאי אבותינו ואמותינו לעם ועד, צור חיינו מגן אישנו אותנו לדרפת דור. יהי לרצון אמרפי ויגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. עשה שלום במרומיו. ועשה שלום עלינו, על כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us and for all Israel and all those who happen to share this world. And we have the ability to recognize that we are sharing, that we are inhabitants, that we are roommates in this world. And we look at each other for shalom, for peace. We have one more prayer. We have one more prayer to Tfilat Amidah. We pray for healing. We think of those dealing with illness, particularly in this pandemic time. We think of those dealing with COVID. We think of those risking their health and their lives for the well-being of our society. We think of those dealing with illness in their bodies and in their spirits. We think of those dealing with addictions as we join together in prayer on page 371, Mishevirach.
Be אמותינו, מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Blessed us in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirits, and let us say, Amen.
We wish to all of them רפואה שלמה והחלמה מהירה, a complete and a fast recovery. And let us say,
Amen.
Shabbos, Shabbos. So, imagine that you start a business. You can make just wait one more second, we are adjusting something here. This is perfect. Imagine that you start a business. Now let's get this once again, because you probably already lost the imagination about that business. So once again, imagine that you start a business. You make many investments in order to make it work. And finally, after years of effort, its profitability doesn't look like a dream anymore. It is tangible, it is coming, it is going to happen. After all these years, you are starting to experience some relief and even some pride. You did it. You might be imagining all the things that you are going to do or buy with your profits. You rightfully feel that you deserve it. Parashat Ki Tavo describes that exact moment. והיה כי תבוא אל הארץ אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך. When you enter the land, actually the exact word is not enter, when you come into the land, that Yah, your God, is giving you as a heritage, and you possess it, and you settle in it, finally, now, 40 years in the desert, my friends, now that you are here, ולקחת מראשית כל פרי האדמה. You shall take some of every first fruit of the soil which you harvest from the land that Yah, your God, is giving you, put it in a basket, and go to the place where Yah, your God, will choose to establish His name. Now that you have the powerful experience of holding the first fruits of your work, don't forget that even though you did work, you did it, you made it, you didn't do it alone. You didn't do it alone. Now that you have that powerful experience, you remind yourself that there are more people that are involved in that process. אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך נחלה וירשת וישבת בה. God has given you a portion. You receive it as a legacy, pointing out that there were people working on this enterprise before you did. And that's how you got here. The first thing that you do with your profits is to give away. Can you imagine? The first thing that you do with your profits after investing for 40 years or more than 40 years is to give away. Does it sound easy? What's the purpose of this challenge? As But this doesn't end here. Once you get there with your Bikurim, first profits, there is a ritual. This is how it goes. You come in front of the Kohen. The Kohen is the priest. And you say, I came here today to acknowledge that I have come to the land that God has promised to my parents. The Kohen then takes the basket and places it in the altar. And once that happens, you say the words that later on took an emblematic place in the Passover Agadah. The Passover Agadah. And what are those words? A wandering Aramean was my father. Arami obed Avi. He went down into Egypt and lived there as an alien, few in number, and there he became a great nation, mighty and populous. When the Egyptians treated us harshly and afflicted us by imposing hard labor on us, we cried to Adonai, our God. We cried to Adonai, our God, the God of our ancestors. Adonai heard our voice and saw our affliction, our toil, and our oppression. Adonai brought us out of Egypt with mighty hand and an outstretched arm. Remember this arm. With a terrifying display of power and with signs and wonders. And he brought us into this place and gave us this land, a land of flowing milk and honey. This is why I am here, you say. Then the Torah instructs us to lower ourselves and to bow. And you shall rejoice on all the gifts that you have and share them with the Levi and the Ger, the stranger that lives near you. So, why this text? Why Arami obed Avi? The wandering Aramean was my father. While we are holding the fruits of our labor, we might forget where we came from. And so, this text is a reminder of our humble foundation, which in the context of our narrative, of our story, is Arami obed Avi. And in the context of our spiritual foundation, this is equal to say, Afar be'efer. We are but dust and ashes. Now, taken to a different dimension, this is why this is a way not to fail in the expression of polite gratitude, right? Like you stand there and you say, thank you. And as opposed to that, we are trying to achieve a different kind of gratitude, a reflective gratitude, the kind of gratitude that says, I understand where I'm coming from. I understand and I am fully aware of my journey, and therefore, I am fully aware, I am fully connected to the importance of this moment. But there is more. This ritual doesn't end with words of gratitude. There is an action. You start by giving away the first fruits, but your giving doesn't end there. You are now supposed to look at what you have, feel joy, b'samachta, you're supposed to be happy, and then share with the Levi and the stranger. Now, the Levi and the Ger, the stranger, are those who have lo chelek banachala. They have no portion in the division of the land. One, because of his origin, and the other one because of his status. Now, if the first component was reflective gratitude, the second one is empathetic generosity. Our collective memory says, Rami obed Abi. And by saying that, challenges us to an approach that doesn't see our success just as our own merit, but rather as a transgenerational power and foundation for generosity. We don't say, if I made it, then anyone else or everyone else can do the same. But rather, I have gifts, and so I will share them with those that are less fortunate. It is not about what we hold in our hands, but rather our ability to extend our hands and outstretched arm. When we pray in the morning and we say, Poteach et yadecha umasbia lechol chai ratzon, we literally open our hands. We physically do it because we understand that by doing so, we become partners with God. So at the end of this Torah portion, Moshe gathers the people of Israel and tells them, you have seen all that God has done for us. You have seen all the signs and all the wonders. But just starting today, you have attained a heart to know, eyes to see, and ears to hear. And so the question is, Manishtana, what has changed this day? The answer is in the very beginning of the Torah portion, Kitavo. When you come into the land, you come to the Kohen, and you say, I came here. It is not about coming. It is about becoming. On that day, we will become. This is the difference between having and being. Having is not enough. When we look at ourselves with humility and at our gifts with deep gratitude, when we bring our offerings, and on top of that, with a sensitive and empathetic generosity, we extend our hands toward those in need. That day, we become. And so, on that day, we will have ears to hear, eyes to see, and a heart that understands. May this month, the month of Elul, time of Teshuvah, bring us a bit closer to a heart that understands. Shabbat Shalom. We will continue our service on page 586 with Aleinu Leshabeach.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כהם. וכל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We now take a moment to acknowledge mourners among our community. If you are doing the cycle of the first 7 days of mourning, the first 30 days of mourning, the first year of mourning, or you have a yahrzeit, please share in the comments section of our streaming the names of your beloved ones. I hope that you are also seeing names in the streaming of beloved members of TBT that have your side this week of have passed away in this last week. Now together, we bring our hearts and our voices for Mourners Kaddish on page 598. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
אמן.
ברמה דברה חירותי בימליך מלכותי בחייכון ובמכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלו בזמן קריב באמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולמעלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלל שמי לקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמינם בעלמה באמרו אמן. יש לומר רבה בן שמעיה, בחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל באמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ועושה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל באמרו אמן. May the memories of your dear ones be a blessing. יהיה זכרם ברוך. I want to take just one moment to make a 3.5 announcements. So, number one, for those that haven't done it yet, please share pictures and words about your beloved ones for our Easter slideshow. And so, number two is, please make sure that you participate in our greetings slideshow as well. One of the biggest challenges for these high holidays is how to create a communal experience. And one of the few things that we have in order to create that experience is somehow bring some of the things that we are remembering or to bring some of the words that we would like to share with others. So please participate. Please do so. You got an email today if you're a TBT member. And if you are not a TBT member, you can look at our streaming. There's going to be a link today and probably tomorrow morning. So you can participate in these opportunities as well. The other announcement is we are creating for the high holidays a virtual sanctuary. Now, the high holidays are going to be streamed, and everyone will have the possibility to watch our streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. Now, there are some activities that are going to happen just on Zoom, and in addition, during services, we will have our streaming also going through Zoom. And so those that are in Zoom will be a part of our virtual sanctuary. In order to be able to manage that, in order to be able to include everyone, we need you to register. So if you like to participate in the high holidays through our virtual sanctuary, we need you to sign up.
So once again, if you don't have a link right now in the comments, you'll have it one tomorrow, so you can participate and be inside this virtual sanctuary with the rest of the community. And of course, we will be streaming so everyone has a High Holy experience. And the last thing is Habaya School that is opening just in a few more days. If you haven't signed up, please do so. It's going to be fantastic. And I said last thing, so I forgot to say one more. We are opening once again a Seekers class, an Introduction to Judaism class. Last one was a complete success. And so we are doing it, Rabbi Daniel and me, once again. So please, if you know someone who wants to know more about Judaism, or if you want to know more about Judaism, please join us. And here is the great thing about this. Wherever you are, you can join our class. Our class, even if we have the blessing and the opportunity to go back to total in-person normality, will remain also with the possibility of online connection. So if you make it and you sign up and you participate with us, you will be able to do it from the beginning to the end. So don't hesitate and join us. We will now turn our Siurim to page 122 for Kiddush LeYom Shabbat. As we do Kiddush, we are reminded of the creation of the world. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. And on the seventh day, God finished the work that He created and invited us to become a part of that creation. וירד ויהי בוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים בארץ בכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי חבריי וחברותיי, say לחיים, wherever you are.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, גיליון תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
חיים. And exactly as God did, we look at our creations, we look at those that brought us into the creation, and we bless them, we bless each other. In this evening of Shabbat, we make sure that no one remains without a blessing. And if you are alone, wherever you are, so here you have ours, and if you have someone standing next to you, try to find a way to connect with that person, holding hands, embracing each other, looking at each other's eyes. We bring with us the millennial words of our tradition, a tradition of love, a tradition of presence, a tradition of celebration of what we are and who we are. We look at our children, we look at our boys, and we tell them, may God inspire you to be like Ephraim and Menashe. Simecha Elohim k'Ephraim וכמנשה. We look at our girls, and we say, may God inspire you to be like the mothers of Israel. Simech Elohim כשרה רבקה רחל ולאה. And to all of them, we say to each other, יברככם אדוני מאיש מרחם, May God bless you and protect you. Yeh Adonai panav elechem v'yichunekem. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yeh Adonai panav elechem v'yasem lachem shalom. May God's presence be within you always, and may God bless you with peace. Adonai os lamo item. Adonai yevarech et amo b'shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Oh God, prepare me to be a sanctuary,
Pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Asuri migdash
Ve'asuri mikdash
ושכנתי בתוכם, ואנחנו נברך יד מעתה ועד עולם. ועשוני מקדש ושכנתי בתוכם, ואנחנו נברך יד מעתה ועד